Hello guys, and welcome back to Modelling Misfit. Today I'm doing something kind of special. Not the model itself, because it's Revel, coming with everything that name entails, but it's special for me. In 2020, my granddad passed away, and one of our favourite topics together was his dad, who was the tail gunner of a Lancaster. So when he died, I made my first ever diorama. Now as you can see, by no means is it up to my current standards. But with my personal life exploding and the anniversary of his passing coming and going, I thought I would remake it just to see how much better I could do it. The build itself is very standard. I'm sure everyone who's dipped their toes into this hobby has done at least one of these. The engines of this kit are a bit of a nightmare, very finicky, and the instructions are awful. I remember last time I did this I put 2 of the engines in the wrong fucking place. After putting together the front gun capsule, I found that this piece hadn't even been fully completed, so that was lovely. I move on to the clear pieces that need to be put in now, and once the propellers are done, and everything else completed, I move on to painting, and cover it all in black primer. And I cover it all in black primer, then masking off the areas that need to stay black. Then after covering it all, I sprayed it in tan because I was out of the dark earth that it normally needs, but I can darken it and make it look right with washes later. Then after the green comes the best part of peeling off all the masking tape. A little paint had come through, but I can fix that with another coat of black paint later. Then add in the rest of the windows and decals, which with the age of this kit, you can never make it look like it's been actually painted on. I add the finishing touches on the props and move on to the base. Now just plotting out where it will go, and using my Temu foam knife to cut out a little mound, and trying to make it look a little more natural. Then comes the part that would be difficult with a better kit, but it's Revel, so... Then finding the pieces of the plane that would naturally fly off in a crash. It's also why I picked the Dam Buster variant, because it just makes it a little bit lower and a little bit less work for me. Plotting out where the plane will be. I then use my butane torch to make the divots where the body and engine would have dragged through the mud. And now for heating up, oh shit, the propeller blades so that I can bend them backwards. And drilling in bullet holes and damage with a Dremel. Painting the edges silver to give off that damaged metal look. And giving the inside an accurate-ish colour. Then moving on to the scenery, I paint the rock and cover the ground in Vallejo dark earth. Once covered, I glued in the plane and set to making it look like it had just drudged up a bunch of soil and is now embedded in the hill. Now the wing that had snapped off, which I forgot to do the engine paths, so I had to go back, remove all the soil and then do it. Once it had dried, I covered the ground in a bunch of PVA and salt bayed over a bunch of grass. While waiting for that to dry, I moved it to the side and moved on to the trees, finding the ones I wanted to use. Painting the wood and the leaves a whole bunch of different greens and yellows to give off the spring kind of vibe. I then wanted to portray that this tree had been cut down by the plane in its path, but then I put the tree in front of the wing, so I have no idea how it did that, but hey ho. And I dotted the rest of the trees and debris around the place. Once I did that, I thought it needed a little something else. I went to my local hobby shop and got one of these Jeeps. The building took me about 5 minutes, and then I slathered it in green paint and did the details. Once dry, I gave it all an oil wash. Blending it into the environment, muddying up, making it look like it just drove in. I then painted the outside black, and with that, I called it good.